Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Winchester Football Weekly. Tonight we have a very special guest, Sachem's Youth Football player coach, Andrew Miller. Andy Miller is a McCall 8th grader. He's in the 3rd season of the Sachem's Youth Football program. As a 6th and 7th grader, Andy joined the program as an assistant coach, but this season he was the first person ever to coach and play for the Sachem's Youth Football program in the same season. Andy's older brother, Billy, plays at the high school. He works very hard at the game and makes sure that the water stations and the bottles are always full. From time to time, provide inspirational pep talks, which I've heard some of, which I think is a great thing. We also have Players of the Week. The 8th grader this week is Max Ward. He's a tight end and defensive end. Has been one of the most consistent players in Sachem's youth football program for the last 2 seasons. His speed and knowledge of the game are the 2 best assets that he brings to the team. And the 7th grader over here is Jack Laguerre. Jack is a linebacker and offensive tackle for the Sachem's youth football black team. 2013 is Jack's first year in the program. He has a strong work ethic and is very coachable. He is one of the best attendance records in Sachem's youth football and also in the study hall program. And I know Jack also played in Papuana last year, and he had a lot of fun and a lot of success. In the D team, they won last night, but we also have with us tonight center Brendan Gill, so we're going to talk about playing center on the offensive line. So now we're going to get into the game summaries first. The game summaries: the Winchester High School lost its playoff game to #1 ranked in the division, Concord Carlisle. So now what that means to all of them and to everybody out there is that they have 3 more games. They play Wakefield at home at 1:30 at Knowlton Stadium this Saturday. Then most likely they're going to play Burlington. It's the winner of the Burlington-Melrose game, but I believe it'll be Burlington. And then they're going to have the Woburn game on Thanksgiving, which is home this year, again down at Knowlton Stadium. The Sachem's Youth Football last week, both the red and the black teams hosted games at Manchester Field, and both teams were victorious. On October 30th, the red team defeated a previously undefeated Newton Day team 12-8, and the defense provided a great late game stance to secure the win for the Sachems. The following day, the black team hosted Melrose and won, going away 22-6. To get into the Papuana, which is, just so everyone understands, they're having some great success this postseason. They're in the playoffs, and we'll start off. The E team, first of all, did travel to Boston on Saturday for the 2013 Baby Bowl. The event was one of the largest of its kind in New England and features teams from all over the area. The E team finished their season in style, handing Cambridge only its 2nd loss of the season and playing extremely well in other 3 games, including a tie and 1-point loss to some of the other top E teams in the state. The D black team lost a heartbreaker to Saugus in the opening round of their playoffs. The teams were neck and neck the entire game, thanks to some great play on whole and also 2 kick returns for touchdowns by Joe Lawler. So I believe that game actually came down to the last minute. The D red team last weekend rather. They played East Boston in the quarterfinals and facing Saugus tonight, which I just got an update from one of the coaches. They're beating Saugus 27-0 in the 2nd quarter already. So it looks like that game's going to go to playing this Sunday. They will also be going for the Eastern Mass Championship. The C team last night avenged their early loss to Saugus with a convincing 20-6 win last night. So they played Dracut on Sunday for the Eastern Mass Championship. And it's looking like also that D-Red will also be competing for the Eastern Mass Championship. So to put that in perspective to everybody, that means, I believe, they have 3 more games to try to get to Disney. So they're getting closer and closer. If you get a chance to go see some of these games, they're a lot of fun. Anthony, if you have the information, I do want to remind everybody of the Pride Night that is the night before Thanksgiving. It's the 2nd annual Winchester Football Pride Night. Comedian Steve Sweeney will be there. It's on the 26th at the Sons of Italy in Winchester. The doors open at 6:30, dinner will be at 7, and the tickets are $35. And you can see on the bottom there, people to contact is myself or Paul Manganaro to purchase tickets. It's a fun night. Last year, 250 people came, had some good laughs and had a good time. So if you can, please come out. I'd like to bring up our first guest tonight, and that's Andrew Miller. Come on up. How are you, sir?
How are you?
Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
First of all, I want to talk to you about Sachem's Youth Football. You came on a couple of years ago and you started helping out Coach Manganaro, and you have the whole coaching staff. And so tell me about what it's like to be at practice and the games with this team, because I know it's fun for you.
Well, the practice, it's really easy, I gotta say. I mean, like, all you gotta do is, like, fill up the water bottles and from this water tank whenever a game's going on at the McCall or Winchester High School.
Yeah. Now, out of all the coaches that you have, and I know there's quite a few coaches, who's your favorite coach there?
It would have to be Coach Manganaro because he taught me a lot.
What about Coach, I don't know, better than Coach Covino?
Even Coach Covino.
You know, they're all good guys. They're all good guys. But Coach Manganaro, I know that, there's a lot of kids on the team, so there's a lot that has to go on with the coaches and trying to keep everybody organized. So, what have you noticed from the difference between like the 7th grade team to the 8th grade team? Is it size, how organized they are? What do you notice between the two groups?
Well, how organized it is. During 8th grade games, it's really, I don't know how to explain, but we get all the 8th graders all together, and during 7th grade games, we get them all together. 7th graders are in red shirts, and 8th graders are in black shirts, which I gotta say makes a lot of sense for Winchester colors.
Right, exactly. Now, do the 7th graders scrimmage the 8th graders in practice?
Well, actually,
I'm not sure either, so you're not sure. I was wondering if they were able to keep them separate or they scrimmaged against each other.
You said that too fast.
No, that's okay. Now, let me ask you another question. You played, I looked this up on the internet. The last person in Massachusetts that was a player coach was Bill Russell for the Celtics. And that was a long, long time ago. So so someone hasn't done that since the 60s. So now you're a player coach and you played in your first game this past week, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about that experience.
Well, I would like to do that. Thanks. It all started like last night at the Melrose High School on the football field.
Sure.
My buddy Dylan Campbell was at the job filling up water bottles, doing my old job, while I was like out there in 41 uniform, as you could see.
Yeah.
And just waited for the guy to go, "Hey!" And then there's a player right there. He's just standing there, and then I like block him out of the way from getting the player with the ball, which is one of ours.
Which is great. So when you first learned that you were going to go play, were you nervous?
A little bit.
I don't blame you.
Thought I was going to get injured or killed, but it turns out it's not that bad. It's really easy.
You know what? Parker gets nervous too. When he plays, he gets very, very nervous. He's always worried that he's going to get killed too. So Parker worries about that. He gets worried. Parker's a linebacker for the high school, and he gets worried every now and again. That happens. So you got in there. Was the kid big? Was he a big kid that you went up against?
I think he was about my size.
So that's not bad. So that made you feel pretty good.
Yes.
So who were you lined up next to? Do you know
I was lined up next to Robbie, I guess. Robbie Walsh.
Robbie Walsh, he's a good kid, Yeah. So what's the funniest story that's happened on Sachem's Youth Football that you can remember? What's the funniest thing you've heard?
Well, basically, the funniest thing I've got here is, well, I can't really think of anything funny, actually.
Well, Mr. Covino's pretty funny in general. Just looking at him, I mean, he's pretty funny looking.
I've got a cap that says my name, and he's got a cap that says his name.
Well, that's awesome. You know what? Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. All right, you're going to head up?
No problem.
We'll get you on eventually again next year, I promise you.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, next, I didn't mention this, but we have a unique situation. This is the first time we're introducing the Winchester High School Powder Puff football game. It is held between the senior girls and the junior girls. So it's been going for a number of years. I'm not quite sure how many, but quite a while anyway. I think at least 10 years. They're lining themselves up now. So, but we've brought on, what we have right now, to my right, is we have the senior coach. See, basically how this is done, they're coached by the football players from the seniors coach the senior girls, and the junior players coach the junior girls. So one of the coaches, there's 3 or 4 on each team as far as coaches go. We have Quinn Johnson, we have Elena Ewing, Deirdre, Erin Gill, Parker, and Monica Carboni. All right, so we're going to, first of all, Quinn, let me talk to you first. Tell me about this. You have the opportunity to coach this game. I know it's a lot of fun, but tell me about it.
Yeah, it's a good time. We struggled last year, to say the least.
So last year you guys were the juniors playing against the seniors.
Yeah, not a lot of experience going in, but you know, it's fun. We get pretty amped up about it, I'd say. But this year I expect a big turnaround for us, and I definitely expect a victory for the seniors.
Okay, let's give it back to Parker there. Parker is the junior coach. And, you know, Parker, I am curious to how this plays out. You know, is there actual plays? Do you guys practice?
Oh, yeah. You see, Quinn's all talk. And pretty bold prediction, so he's going to win, because we got a few trick plays up our sleeve that you're not going to see coming.
Well, what I do want to, why don't we pass it on to Monica? I'd like to, you know, Monica, you know, I was quite surprised in the car ride over that you had mentioned that you thought you were a better athlete than Elena Ewing, and that you couldn't wait to go up against her during this game. So, you know, what makes you have so much confidence this year? Do you really think that they're not that good that you can, you know, really take it to them this year?
Yeah, I do. I think we're gonna have a really good team. And Alena's a linebacker, and she's not that great of an athlete, so we'll definitely be sure to beat them.
All right, now why don't we give the microphone to Erin Gill, because I was obviously Erin is my daughter, and you know, I've been hearing the trash talking that's been going on for weeks now. And I was surprised when Erin was talking to my son Patrick, and she mentioned that she thought Deirdre was soft. I don't know.
Yeah.
I found that hard to believe. We were able to watch Deirdre play basketball last year because you play basketball there, and that's not a thought that came to my mind. So what makes you think she's soft, Erin?
Well, first of all, if you look at her now, I've noticed a lot of sweat all collecting on her face. I think she's a little nervous. But, you know, Deirdre, she talks about this video that she has on YouTube of her punching a girl in the face. I don't think that's really her. But, but, you know, Deirdre, she's all talk. She's pretty confident in herself. I think most of us could agree. But all in all, she has no idea what's coming for her. I mean, she's expecting the least from us.
All right, let's give the microphone to the senior girls, which are, you know, they're going to have their chance here right now. You know, Elena, you're hearing these, you know, immature people talk to you right now, and I'm curious to what advice you might have for Erin and Monica during the game.
I guess my first piece of advice would be stay away from Deirdre. She's pretty upset right now. I mean, she's definitely gonna come after both of you. My second piece of advice is just watch out. I mean, you guys have no chance. You might get hurt. You probably will get hurt. Deirdre might stomp on you. So yeah, just keep your head up.
All right, let's give the microphone to Deirdre. Deirdre, you know, all the talk about you being soft, that you really can't play. You know, what do you have to say to all of that?
I think I have to say to Erin that I think I could bench press her. And I also would like to say that Erin told me today that she wore a lacrosse sweatshirt to the sign up so that people would know she played a sport, because no one knows she plays sports. Also, Monica, I'm pretty sure you might weigh maybe 100 pounds. So when you come up against me, I hope you're not wearing earrings, and I hope you're not wearing anything that I could grab easily, because I will throw you as hard as I can, intentionally to the ground,
All
because you
right.
said something about Elena.
All right, Elena, I do have a question for you. How do you guys figure out positions and how do you figure all that out? I mean, there's 20, 25 girls that sign up right away. How do you figure it out?
Well, I mean, Quinn figures it out. He does a great job. We see who can actually physically play, because some girls can't. They want the T-shirt. I don't know.
There's
and
nothing
the
wrong with
T-shirts
that.
are great.
Absolutely.
They do a great job. But the girls who can play, we like to keep them out there as much as we can. So hopefully rack up the points.
All right, let's give it over to Quinn. All right, Quinn, how do you figure this stuff out? I mean, you have some kids coming in for, what do you have, a couple practices? I know it's secret, but,
Yeah, we have a couple practices to kind of figure things out. But as Coach Mack might say, a lot of people are just in it for the pasta. Just there for the T-shirts, and we try to make that distinction. From the looks of the junior roster, we have a lot of people in it for the pasta. Nothing but like a T-shirt grab over there.
Absolutely.
So
All right,
Yeah,
head
not
it
too
over.
worried.
Give it over to Parker. All right, Parker, you have some girls that have been into this game before, so they understand what it takes. I know some of the juniors think the game's rigged for the seniors this year, but how do you deal with with the lack of experience on your team going up against what they think is good experience?
Well, before I answer that, I'm going to say I think Deidre's one of those people that's just in it for the shirts, first and foremost. And for the experience part, we have some hardos on our coaching staff, such as Jimmy Crother, co-host.
Yep.
Couldn't make it tonight.
He couldn't make it, he's studying.
Yeah, he'll get them a little discipline, He'll teach them not to be afraid of Deidre, and we have a couple drills for that.
The one thing you guys have going for you guys actually have the quarterback of the team as one of your coaches. Mike Rossi is the quarterback, so I assume he's going to be the quarterback coach.
Yep.
So that does help you. What advice do you have for your counterparts at coaching? How can they coach the seniors to try to compete against your juggernaut?
They just, I just gotta tell them to have fun, and it's okay with losing, because it's okay to lose sometimes. It's all right, Quinn.
All right. Yeah, of course. Go ahead, Quinn. I would love to hear your response to this.
Yeah, I'd just like to first say that I do have Parker just on hand as saying that he is in fact afraid of Deirdre. But also all this talk that I've heard from the juniors is just bulletin board material for my team. We feed off that kind of stuff. So I'm not worried. And the pigs that they got coaching over there with the intimidation factor doesn't scare any of us.
I have to say that the Pop Warner kids have started a fantasy football league with the Powder Puff. And I have to let you know that Deirdre was taken number 1. All right, Elena was taken number 2. So just so you guys understand, that could be rookies always go unnoticed at the beginning. So, but this is all in fun. Tell us about the announcing, that type of thing, because I understand some of the kids have, I don't know, who do they get to announce the games?
Last year it was a couple seniors who they really just kind of, student council members actually, who get to go up in the booth and have some fun with it.
Sure. And do they actually have real refs?
Yeah, they do bring in a ref for the game, so it can't get too dirty, but it's still a brutal game.
All right, let's give it over to Parker.
When you say real refs, I think you might mean paid refs, for matter of fact, because Deidre might say she's going to be running a couple people over, but when she gets run over, they're just going to call a flag on us, so that's all that matters.
Deirdre, why don't you give the microphone to Deirdre? Because, Deirdre, are you worried about a penalty being called on you? Do you know what unnecessary roughness is?
I think I've learned to control my anger management over my 4 years of high school sports. there's a pig next to me whispering things in my ear because he thinks I'm scared of him. But I think I could possibly take Parker one-on-one, any day, any sport. He'd be on the ground begging for mercy.
Now-
So I'm not scared.
Well, I think that's a great way to end this. One thing I would like to say that this, to go over the details, this is the Wednesday before, the day before Thanksgiving. So you guys have a rally at school, then you meet over at Manchester Knowlton Field if anyone wants to see this bloodbath. In all seriousness, this is joking. This is a fun event. Some of them are taken a little bit more serious than others, but in the end, this is it's a lot of fun to come down and watch, and it usually has everyone has a pretty good time. So I want to get these young men up on stage, so I want to thank you guys for coming, and good luck in this game, and I can't wait to see it. We'll film it. So thank you guys very much. So next, what we have, we're going to have the three, the Sachem's youth football players and Brendan Gill from the Papuana to come on up. Come on up and sit right in these chairs, guys. So I'm going to start from the oldest to the youngest, so I will start with Max. Max, again, does play tight end and defensive end. And I just wanted to ask you, how many years of, tell me about your experience. How many years in football have you played? About the positions you play, like offense, defense. Tell me about it.
Well, I started off with the 6th grade clinic, and then I played 7th grade. But in the 6th grade clinic, you don't really have any positions. Everyone just does the drills. And then 7th grade, I played D end and tight end,
Yep.
and I continued with that in 8th grade.
Yep. So this is your third year, basically, of
Yeah.
playing. How has it evolved from when you were doing the 6th grade clinic, which at that time was once a week, to being in 8th grade? Does every year your confidence get higher? Do you feel yourself being more confident when you go into, to play?
Yeah, in 6th grade, I was scared of all the big kids, but now it's
Now you're one of them.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of sports. One year, you're the juniors of that powder puff, and the next year you're the seniors. So, I think that is, a great way to put it. Now, do you prefer offense or defense?
I prefer defense because I like to tackle more than like
You like to hit people.
blocking.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to hit people. Why don't we pass it over to Mr. Jack? Jack, how are you?
Good.
Good. I had the pleasure of watching Jack play last year in some Pop Warner, and he's a very, very good player. It was fun to watch last year, and I was, interested to see that now you're a linebacker and an offensive tackle. Now, when you were in Pop Warner, what positions did you play?
I played offensive tackle and D tackle.
So you played that. I know you played. So you played defensive tackle last year, and now you're a linebacker.
Yep,
So, do you like offense or defense better?
offense.
Offense. That's a man after my own heart. I love anyone on the offensive line that likes to play that position. A lot of people don't understand that position well until you've played it. That it's a lot of fun when you go up against one guy, 25 times, 30 times in a game. You really get to know him, the good, bad, and the ugly. So it's fun. I'm glad to hear that you said that. That being said, so you play the single wing. So what tackle do you play on the single wing?
I play inside tackle.
So right next to the pulling guard.
Yeah.
So you got a big step to come down and fill that hole. So you got to be quick too.
Yeah,
Yeah, because usually you're taking in blitzes because they figure they're coming in an area that everybody else is vacating. So you're able to do that without a problem?
yeah. It's usually not a problem.
You get a little head of steam coming too, so you get to knock some people down, so that's always fun. That's why I think that position's fun. All right, why don't we pass it over to Brendan Gill. Brendan Gill played on the C team. He's 10 years old. He played up until a few weeks ago until he broke his arm in a non-football event, playing with some friends over at Leonard's Field. But that's the trials and tribulations of being a kid. But Brendan, tell me about your experience. This is, how many years have you played Papuana? You gonna bring it right up?
I think 4.
4 years. You started off in E, then you've played 2 years at D, and now that you're at the C level. Tell me about, first of all, what positions do you play?
I play center and nose guard.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer offensive or defense?
I prefer defense.
Defense. You like to try to get to the quarterback, or, so. What I am interested in, Brendan does play center on the offense, and talking about snapping the ball, because doing the single wing, it's that wedge snap. You had to learn this year, you know, kind of trial under fire a little bit. How was snapping the ball and learning that? Was it a little unsettling at the beginning?
Yeah, it got confusing that you could snap it to 3 guys and kind of got a little weird.
Yeah, so you had to figure that out.
Yeah.
So, but you got there, right?
Yep.
And your team is obviously move on to the Eastern Mass Championship game this Sunday.
Yeah.
So are you excited about that?
I'm excited, but I'm a little sad I'm not playing, but yeah, I'm excited.
I get it. That can be that way, but it does happen. So let's get it back to Jack. So Jack, you're in 7th grade. How many years of Pop Warner did you play?
I played 1 year.
Okay, so this is your 2nd year playing?
Yep.
Can you feel the difference when you're playing now compared to when you first played last year in Pop Warner? Because you are going up against some bigger kids.
Definitely.
What's that like? What, you know, some games you're going up against a really big kid. Some days you're going up against a smaller kid. You know, is it hard to figure out the difference, what you got to do and how you got to approach blocking one kid over another?
Not really.
No, you just take your steps. That's a great answer. You just take your steps and let them figure it out.
Yep.
And I think that's a great way to look at it. If you guys just do what your coaches are teaching, I think that you'll go a long way. So I am curious to question, you have a very large coaching staff there. And, you know, don't be afraid just because Coach Manganaro is over there and make you run if you don't say him. Who's your favorite coach on the staff?
I like them all equal.
Oh, man, you're good. You're going to be a politician when you get older. I can feel that right now. Pass it down to Max. Okay, Max, you've played for a couple of years. You're winding up your season now. Next year, you're going to take a jump up to play with the high school team. What do you think that's going to be like?
I think it's going to be a lot tougher because, like I said before, I used to be the small kid in 6th grade and then the big kid in 8th grade, but now I'm going to start again as a small kid.
You know, there is something to be said for that, but there's also, you know, there's some kids that are, you know, smaller that are playing that, you know, you've got to work through. But, you know, do you like lifting?
Haven't tried it yet.
Well, that's something that you're going to have to get used to if you're going to, you know, get in there, because that's a big part of it as well, especially with playing tight end and defensive end. So what do you think would be the biggest challenge for you to move up?
Probably since in our offense we don't have that many passing, and I'm probably going to have to learn all the routes, and I think that's going to be difficult.
Yep. Yeah, and it can be. I can see how that can be an issue, because every play there's a different way you got to go. Some days you're just taking your receiver out. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you play any other sports?
I play basketball and soccer.
Well, that doesn't surprise me if I look at the size of you. So you play basketball and soccer?
Yeah.
Yep. So what do you think you'll do? Do you think you'll play high school football, or would you play soccer?
I'm going to play high school football.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That's better.
because they're both in the fall, so that would be tough to
Yeah.
do. So you're going to play basketball? Now, do you play basketball for like a club team now?
No, just town team.
Just town team, but you play now? Like
Yeah.
you're getting ready into the season, so you're also going to try to play high school basketball?
Probably I'll try it.
Good for you. Give it back to Jack. All right, Jack, so any other sports that you play?
I swim and I play golf.
So you're one of those
And
guys that are,
baseball.
you're one of those guys that are in shape. You know, if I had advice to any of my kids, golf would be the sport that I would take up for sure. It's the only sport you can play after you turn 35. But I think that's, you know, the swimming, you know, obviously gets you in great shape, you know, keeps you active. You know, you can do that. Do you do that year round, or?
Just in the winter and a little bit of the fall.
Okay, why don't we give it over to Brendan? All right, Brendan, what other sports, when you don't have a broken arm, do you play?
Football and lacrosse, football, hockey, and lacrosse.
Yeah? What's your favorite sport?
Whatever season I'm in.
Whatever season you're in? Good answer. I want to thank you guys for coming out. And remember, anyone that was on this show can go to